Well, here's my stash of cookie mixes for this year's Christmas cookie baking. I don't think I'm going to have as many people to give them out to this year as I did last year because of the coronavirus and just less activities and events to go to. But I'm still going to go ahead and bake. I've got plenty of neighbors here who love to get them and local people. So I'm just going to go ahead and do what I can do. And it's a wonderful time of year, and it's a great time to show people how much you appreciate them and give them some sweet treats in this dark time, and I'm going to go for it. I've used two books to fill my containers with. One of them is the Gift in the Jar cookies that I got about a year or two ago. This is an amazing book. Every single recipe I've ever made out of it has turned out great. I've made some pre-made mixes to give to my kids, to bake with my grandkids, and they've also had a lot of success. So I highly recommend that book. It's just a wonderful, wonderful no-fail. Also, Mrs. Fields' cookie book. I've made a couple mixes from her recipes too, and again, another no-fail cookie book. I think the one big difference between the two books is that the Gifts in the Jar cookies, those recipes were made and calibrated to have all the dry ingredients in the jar and to be dumped out all at once and mixed up with the wet ingredients like eggs and butter or whatever. And the Mrs. Fields cookie book are not. They're more conventional baking. So I'm going to show you how I adapted Mrs. Fields' recipes to jar cooking too, so I could have those dry ingredients ready ahead of time. The cookies I'll be using from the Cookie in a Jar book are the Snickerdoodles, which have always come out great. I've made those several times. The chocolate chip cookies, which have also turned out great. I've made some extra packages of this for my kids and my grandkids, and they've had a lot of success with it too. The oatmeal scotchies, I've actually never made these. These are with oatmeal and butterscotch chips, but based on my success with the other ones, I am sure they're going to be fine too. Oatmeal cookies, the only deviation I made from the recipe was instead of putting in cinnamon, I put in the same amount of pumpkin pie spice. This particular recipe works out really well as a trail mix cookie. I've added raisins and cranberries and coconut and M&Ms, and it's just really, really delicious. So I might do that at one point on a video because it's just such a versatile recipe. And then finally, the peanut butter chocolate chip cookie, and I really like this too. I've made it, and it's delicious, kind of crispy. What I used for this particular recipe is I used the Dollar Tree peanut butter. It's $1, obviously it's $1, but it's small. It's a 10 ounce, and this calls for 8 ounces. So a cup, this is a little more than a cup, but I only have about 2 ounces left, which can be finished up pretty quick in a sandwich as opposed to using a big old bottle of, or container of peanut butter, which sometimes has gone bad in my refrigerator because it's too much. I found this homemade brownie mix on the internet, actually. I've seen a couple versions of it, and I'm going to try this to make some homemade brownies. I wanted something kind of soft and cake-like in my cookie gift bags or whatever. Last year I did pumpkin spice breads and stuff like this, but I thought I would do brownies this time. What I liked about this is it's small, so I can make several different types with several different types of chocolate chips or cranberries or whatever. And also, if this comes out well, I would like to make these as a little gift, I guess, gift jars or whatever. This large jar is too big. They're for the traditional cookie mixes, but this size, this half size that it makes, would be great in a little tiny. I've seen at Dollar Tree has these cute little apothecary jars. Wouldn't that be cute to fill that with a brownie mix and maybe put some chocolate chips and instructions on the side or whatever? It'd be a very nice little gift for somebody. So I'm going to test that and see if it's any good. I think it will be. It should make a 9 by 9 or an 8 by 8 square. From the Mrs. Fields book, I pre-made two mixes. One of them is the thumbprint cookies, and those are the ones with the indentation in the dough where you can put jam. They're kind of colorful. And the other one are the sugar cookies, which always roll out and are so pretty, which I'll probably decorate with sugar or with little sprinkles or something. Now, because these are not made for for all the dry ingredients to be in a jar, I didn't want to mess it up by trying to put all the dry ingredients in a jar. As a matter of fact, these call for the sugar to be mixed up ahead of time with I think the butter and the egg or whatever those liquids and fats are. So in order to accommodate that, I put all of the other dried ingredients into the jar as per the directions, but I'll show you what I did for the sugar. I simply packaged that separately. I packaged my sugar separately so I can just pull that out and mix it up, then add the rest of the dry ingredients. So I'll have the cookie mix the way it was meant to be made, but with the convenience of being packaged up ahead of time. Now for the packaging. Here's what I'm using to package the cookies this year. Last year I got these buckets at Dollar Tree that were really cute. They were 2 for $1 and they had lids and handles and they were great for transporting. But I found if the cookies were a little irregular or whatever, it was a problem getting the lid on, and I was always afraid in putting the lid on I would break them. So this year I went ahead and got these cute little bags from Walmart. I actually got them the day after Christmas, or a couple days after Christmas, so they were 13 cents each. The size of the bags is a good, it's like a little bit bigger than a lunch bag size, and it's more forgiving than a plastic-sided bucket, and I can put a lot more cookies in there, and if I need to bring 2 bags to somebody, it's not a problem. It's very, very flexible, so I'll be using those. For labels, I got these at Dollar Tree. This was the one in front was, I think, 36 peel and stick gift tags, and the one behind here that you can't see, I've already used about 3/4 of them last year, so I'm going to finish those up. They're real cute and they're big, so I can use them both to put the to and from on, and also as a bag sealer on the cookie bag flap. And here are the treat bags I use for bagging up the cookies individually. I like to do that. People have allergies and preferences, and you know, they like to know what they're biting into. So what I generally do is I put you know, whatever type of cookie, you know, whatever I'm giving into a bag, and then label it and close it, and then you know what you got. So those are my plans for this year's Christmas cookie giveaway, or whatever you want to call it, gift giving. I hope I can give away as many as I can. God knows a year ago at this time, no one could have foreseen what this year was going to be like, but that's no reason for us not to enjoy the season and spoil our friends and neighbors a little bit. We all need a little cheer. And something from the oven is sometimes the best way to give it. Anyway, happy holidays to you, and thank you so much for watching.